Many people say life begins with our first breath. But for me, life has no beginning. No matter how far I look back in the palace of my mind, I never really see beginning. Just a persistent flame of life with no beginning and no end. Our lives are fraught with ambition and excitement at first. There are always new things to learn, new people to meet, and new people to love. But things keep getting faster and faster as we age. The time passing us by becomes so short relative to the time of our existence, and there's no way to slow things down, until finally, things begin to fade, and everything stops. No good story is complete without an ending. The end to our story is death. I have a hard time with death. I can't willingly listen to sad songs that speak of aging or dying. Whenever I watch a show and I develop feelings for a character, I quickly spoil things by investigating whether the character I love dies. If the answer is yes, I stop watching the show. I have an unusually hard time with mortality, and that is precisely the reason I decided to explore it. I knew that exploring something that frightened me would be a great way to better my own understanding of myself. I discovered much peace in the Tao Te Ching. Chapter 64 reads, "Give as much care to the end as to the beginning. Then there can be no failure." Death should neither be made more important nor less important than anything else in our lives. And it certainly shouldn't distract from the present. After all, as the Aztecs believed, death is but a single step in an otherwise grand staircase. The world we live in is beautiful. Beauty is very similar to Pirsig's idea of quality. It is just something we universally discern. Paraphrasing Oscar Wilde, beauty is higher than genius, for it needs no explanation. But I don't think our world would be beautiful without death. What is the point of a song that never ends? Some things are precious because they don't last long. To see a world in a grain of sand, and a heaven in a wildflower. Hold infinity in the palm of your hand, and eternity in an hour. Our universe is the closest thing we have to an eternity. That and waiting for the SATs to be over with. We flow into life and ebb into death. We are but passengers who borrow materials from our world only to travel it. Once we die and our molecules return to the earth, our passage is over. But the building blocks of our vessels still remain on the earth. They aid new life. I find comfort knowing that the atoms that once composed me will end up eventually on a new planet, maybe even a new galaxy. Until then, though, I want to say that I'm glad to have grown up where I did. I have learned so much from my instructors. I have learned a lot also from my mistakes. I've enjoyed every moment with my friends and family. I said I wanted to learn more about myself. I learned that my two greatest fears were the fear of the uncontrollable and the fear of disappointment. But I also learned that if I live in the moment, these two fears I won't have to face. I can finally say that I no longer fear death to the same extent I did. I can finally begin to affirm life.